The question paper questions related to the legal requirements of the community pharmacy and the ethics need to be followed in the profession prescribed by Pharmacy Council of India for the community pharmacist that are related to this topic, community pharmacy. So here we are going to discuss about what is community pharmacy and what is the scope of the community pharmacy and the community pharmacy management and plan of an ideal wholesale and retail drugstore, how the plan will be, and then this question is there, discuss the legal requirements to set up a community pharmacy. So all we are going to come here. First, we see from the beginning what is community pharmacy. We know what is pharmacy. The difference between pharmacy and community pharmacy is community pharmacy includes all the establishments that are privately owned and whose function is to serve the society need for drug products and pharmaceutical services. It includes corporate pharmacy chain to pharmacy department in supermarket and independently owned pharmaceutical shop. And apart from dispensing the medicines, the community pharmacy, the role of community pharmacy is attending the minor ailments, counseling the patients, and also providing OTC medicines uh, by consulting their problems. So that is community pharmacy. Here, counseling will be provided additionally. The scope of the community pharmacy is advancement in the research and technology in drug market. So we can collect various adverse drug reactions related informations, and through the proper channel we can communicate to that to the through the pharmacovigilance people. Population explosion, medical facility influences, disease prevention, and health promotion in society. Because of the increased population, all patients cannot be accessed by the available physicians. So the role of pharmacist is very important. So they have to screen the people in the preliminary stage when they are approaching the pharmacy. What is their problem? What is the minor ailment? And whether it is having any serious reasons behind. So all will be collected accordingly. They will be directed. So role of pharmacist is important. Community pharmacy management is in town or a city to be selected. Available must be suitable for connecting the nearby environment people, and site of the pharmacy should be at the center of the population, so easily accessible, equipped with adequate and keep parking facility all to be given. So accordingly a permission will be given, so during inspections all will be attended. These are basic requirements. Plan of an ideal wholesale and retail store to attract a large number of customers, to increase the sale of the store, to reduce the selling expenses of the minimum to the minimum, to provide customer satisfaction. That is the aim. Adequate space is required for necessary storage. If it is a large wholesale, we need a large storage area and proper storage conditions to be maintained. So all will be supervised by pharmacist. This is the retail drugstore plan. This is this plan is given in Drugs and Cosmetic Act, and there is necessary formats were given, and through that we have to apply for getting a license. So it is a legal requirement. Minimum square feet is 10 into 15,500 square feet for an retail shop. 10 into 20, so 200. This is 150 square feet. This is 200 square feet for a wholesale area. That is a minimum requirement. Maximum you can keep more than that, no problem. So here a display area, waiting area. This is medicine storage area, and this is cold storage, and this is a center area there patients will be received, and counseling area will be done. So like this the setup should be. This is entirely different from the normal retail pharmacy. This is retail community pharmacy. Here there is a provision for counseling. Like that in wholesale area also, display window, waiting area, chairs, tables, here it will be provided, and many racks for storage of many number of products. So like that the setup will be. Okay, we come to the question. Discuss the legal requirements to set up a community pharmacy. That is, there is a 5 mark question in our question paper I have found. The legal requirements means legally this requirement is given based on Drugs and Cosmetic Act. In Schedule F, there is many formats were given for applying licenses to open and community pharmacy. Here, the grant of license to open a premises for the business and who engage the service of a qualified person to supervise the sale of a drug, we need some legal requirements. The license for the retail sale of drug other than one mentioned in the schedule C, C1 and X are issued in Form 20. I said in Schedule F of Drugs and Cosmetic Act, there are many formats were given. Many forms. Forms for manufacturing permit licenses, forms for sale licenses, forms for importing for that licenses. Like that, many licensing formats were given in Drugs and Cosmetic Act. And apart from Schedule F, there are many other schedules called C1. Schedule C and C1 are biological products and parenteral products. They are comes under this schedule. And Schedule X is narcotics and psychotropic substances. So these are controlled substances. For that, special licenses are issued. C1 category one separate license, and additionally, if you want to store X drugs, then we need to get another format new license. So like that, various category of licenses are provided based on Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So if you want a license only for C1, you have to apply in Form 21 of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. If you want additionally to store Schedule X drugs, then you need to apply in the Form 20F. General license should be displayed in a, these are the conditions provided, should be displayed in a prominent place open to the public, so everybody should know that you are the licensed owner as per the act. The license should comply with the drugs and cosmetic rule they are under in force. Any change in the qualified staff should be reported to the licensing authority within 1 month. That means the license provided for the qualified pharmacist present in the shop, not on the name of the owner of the shop. The person who is supervising the pharmacy, on his name, the license will be issued. If the person is relieving from that pharmacy, then it should be immediately notified to the concerning regulatory authorities in that area within 1 month. Precautions prescribed by the licensing authority for the storage of Schedule C and C1 drugs should be observed because they are biological products. They need a cold storage and proper storage conditions. Their sterility all to be maintained. So accordingly, suitable storage equipment should be kept, and it will be inspected by the people and licenses will be granted. Prior for inspection of the licensing authority, it should be arranged. And then I said you the Schedule X drugs are restricted drugs or controlled drugs. So those licenses are called restricted licenses. The licenses for restricted sale of drug other than those specified in Schedule C and C1 or X are issued in the form of 20A. Here, some restricted substances, if you want to store, you have to apply in 20A. Those specified in Schedule C and C1 but not in X are issued in the form 21A. So, if you want separately to store Schedule X drugs, then you need to apply in 20F. If you want to store only C and C1, form 21. And if you want to store restricted drugs not specified under these two schedules, C and C1 and X, then you have to apply in form 21A. Conditions for restricted licenses. The licensee must have adequate premises equipped with adequate facility for the proper storage of drugs. To which the licenses applied provide that these conditions apply to the vendor. So the conditions are given in under Drugs and Cosmetic Act. In detail, if you want to study, you have to study the pharmaceutical jurisprudence, later information. But for 5 marks, we have to add up those informations also. So the next discussions, I will tell you those informations also I will provide you. The licenses should be complying with the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and the rule they are under in force. Drugs only purchased from a duly licensed dealer or manufacturer only. That means as how you are getting a license from the regulatory authority for the sale, the manufacturers also will get licenses from the regulatory authority. So you have to verify their licenses before purchasing the medicine from them. So they are the authorized people approved by the government. Only from them you have to procure the medicines for sale. The licenses can only deal in such drugs can without the supervision of a qualified person. Drugs should be sold in their original container only. We should not repacking anything in the original container in the same sealed container. It should be sold because some drugs are narcotic and psychotropic substances can be misused. So due to that reason, this rules and regulations were specified. You have to maintain a separate register, inward stock, outward stock, and that will be verified by drug inspectors during their visit, and the licenses will be continued based on that. Stops and personnel required for a community pharmacy. So up to the previous discussion, it is a part of legal requirements. So for the question, if you have to answer from here, for this question, you have to answer from here. What is about general license? What it says in Drugs and Cosmetic Act, and how to get obtain licenses for the sale of CC1X, and what are the various forms available, and what are the conditions specified in schedules of Drugs and Cosmetic Act to get the licenses, and what is restricted licenses, and what is the condition to be maintained to issue a restricted license to a certain person. This is the answer. And staff and personnel required in a community pharmacy, it is a qualified staff should be employed by proper interview, and their experiences all to be verified. It is not only just for sale, it is for the sale of medicines. So qualified people should be appointed with the proper selection criteria. The job description should be clearly mentioned what is their role, what is their working hours, how the medicines to be collected, segregated, and the prescription should be filed, billed, and given to the patients. How prescription should be verified, everything to be clearly mentioned in the job description. Job specifications include pharmacy, necessary pharmacy degree to get a license, and the recruitment notices to be properly announced accordingly. Interviews to be conducted. Selected people should be appointed with a proper appointment criteria. And after appointment, we have to give a proper training for the people. So for this, we have to maintain a proper documentation. So this also will be verified by the licensing authority. Coding of drugs. This is there is another question in question bank, how the coding will be done in community pharmacy. Coding of drugs, process of assigning codes for each easy identification of the material. Say the medicines will not be stored or indexed in the name of the medicine. Instead of giving a name, we can give some numerical codes, because numerical codes will not confuse. If a person says to bring ampicillin, there is a chance for bringing an amoxicillin, like that, and the names of cephalosporins are somewhat similar, so people may be wrongly dispensed. Chances are there. If you are identifying with the proper numbering system, then it is easy to bring and dispense, and easy to keep it back in the proper containers in the shop. So that is possible. So it is essential for good storekeeping. Ambiguity in description is avoided. The confusions. Length of description is minimized. That means we no need to explain that green color container containing red color medicines, like that. We can shortly tell 101 you bring, like that. So that will be easy. Avoid confusions. Codes ensure of items lying in the floor, and items easily identified when it is known by more than one name. And computerization of the stock is very easy by providing a proper code to the medicines. So we can check by computers the availability in the stock, replacements, all informations, and their expiry related informations all can be easily collected from computer system. Stocking of medicines, we need to know the proper storage conditions of the medicines in community pharmacy. Accordingly, it should be stored. So for that proper training is necessary. uh, Maintenance of register is a legal requirement in the community pharmacy. We have to maintain records related to the personnel employed in the community pharmacy, their qualifications, their certifications, pharmacist registration details, and also how the training is provided, like that informations, their salary registers, all to be. And then licenses, when it is applied, how long it is valid, and how it should be renewed, that informations. And then purchase registers regarding the medicines purchased, if it is a general medicine, if it is a C1 category medicine, if it is a Schedule X, Schedule H type of medicines, then separate registers to be maintained. And storage records, how the medicines were stored, how long it is stored, how the expired drugs are replaced and destroyed, all informations. And then purchase register, from whom we purchased these medicines, what is their licensing status at present, and copy of their licenses also to be maintained. So like that, many registers we have to maintain in community pharmacy. So we have to add the legal requirements we have discussed in the beginning. This is also a part of the discussion. As per the legal requirement, apart from licensing, we have to maintain the records also. According to federal and state law, adequate up-to-date records should be maintained, and it will be visited by the drug inspectors periodically, and they will put their initials and they will verify. If any violations found, that will be notified to the local licensing authority, and we will be called and proper explanations will be asked. If they are not satisfactory, the licenses will not be renewed. There will be punishments also. The punishments are described under Drugs and Cosmetic Act. We have to maintain adequate record related to acquisition, disposition of certain drugs, records of distribution of poisonous and hazardous substances, and records related to the patients those who are screened and their medication history, information and kind of informations about amount of drugs to be taken by average patients. Sometimes some medicines should not be prescribed without prescriptions, so that all will be verified. Financial records, how the salary is given, how the inventory is procured, and the maintenance cost, the storage cost of the medicines, analyzing revenue and expenses, measuring return on investment, and help ensures profitable operations. So all will be verified based on the record. Like that only the licenses will be renewed. The next one discussion is there in the question bank, ethics. That we move to this part. One more question, the fifth 5-mark question. Code of ethics for pharmacist in relation to his her profession. There is a clear code of ethics given under Drugs and Cosmetic Act and also adopted by Pharmacy Council of India. It is available in their website. In relation to their job, responsible, comprehensive pharmaceutical services should be provided, which involves supply of commonly required medicines without any delay and emergency supplies at all times. So we have to keep all the medicines required commonly and emergency supplies with uh, always available. We have to maintain the stock. That is relation to the job. It is a proper ethics. Conduct of pharmacy, how it should be done. The arrangement of pharmacy should be such that it avoids the risk of accidental contamination in preparation, dispensing, and supply of medicine. So proper lock and key conditions, proper segregation of medicines, external medicine separately, internal medicine separately, like that should be arranged. Handling of prescriptions should be received without any comment over it regarding the therapeutic efficacy. Any questions on prescription should be answered with care and should not add omit or substitute any ingredient of the prescription. So we should not comment anything unnecessarily on the prescription. If any doubt, the prescriber can be contacted and it can be clarified, and also necessary substitutions should be done only based on the instructions of the prescriber, not by the pharmacist himself or herself. And it is time up, so we continue our discussion in the next class. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.